Jai Shri Ram. The idiom we are learning is fish rots from the head down. It means poor leadership leads to the decline of an organization. That's the simplest meaning. So, in any organization, you see, when we had stupid prime ministers, right? I don't want to name them because they will file cases against me. But these rascals were not only stupid, they are criminals actually. In any other country, they would be probably shot dead. You see, after all, these people who get elected, their job, they have to exercise what is called stewardship. 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 Stewardship is the highest kind of leadership because what it means is the careful and responsible management of something entrusted to one's care. Careful and responsible management of something entrusted to one's care. So, being the prime minister or president or a minister or an elected representative or the principal of a college or a professor or a teacher or a doctor or a lawyer, all these require a sense of stewardship, which unfortunately is lacking in most people in our country today. There's no accountability also. Accountability means answerability. They won't answer. If you ask them a question, they will get irritated and angry actually. In fact, if you ask them their designation, they get angry, let alone answering your questions. So when people occupy positions of power, they fail to live up to this expectation, which is stewardship. They don't have a sense of stewardship and they don't have a sense of accountability. And as a result, the whole society suffers, the country suffers. We are lagging behind in every area because idiots who don't have the competence are getting promoted thanks to the reservation process. The deserved and the reserved. So the deserved unfortunately have to go abroad. That is why there is a brain drain. Thanks to Modi ji, maybe people are already coming back because India looks good now economically and in every other area. So someday we will be able to stop this brain drain. Otherwise, better to have the brain somewhere else rather than brain in the drain. Brain drain is better than brain in the drain, isn't it? So it's a sad situation. Where is the stewardship? Where is the accountability? And jokers and buffoons and criminals are getting elected to the legislatures. There's no sense of stewardship. And on top of it, when their election speeches and when any media person, these people will boast and say as if they have done this and they have given this and that, as if they're giving something out of their personal pocket. Damn it, these are the we are the people who are paying the taxes and you are trying to give us back what we own. The real owners of this country are the citizens of this country, not you as a buffoon. We have elected you and hope that you will serve us. Like a steward in a restaurant, you say. The steward in a restaurant has some very simple duties. What is his job? He has to take your order, go to the kitchen, place the order, collect the food, bring it, put it on the sideboard and serve you. That's exactly what a leader is supposed to do. He is to make sure that appropriate plans are put in place so that the resources, the natural resources, all resources, are put to the best use. Infrastructure is built so that the society becomes economically more progressive, and to the extent possible we should eliminate poverty. Every person, every citizen should have their basic needs met. Roti, kapda, makan. Instead of doing that, these criminals, these rascals, these buffoons and jokers, if I were made the dictator, I would bloody shoot them all dead. These people will be shot dead in China or any, they don't deserve to exist because they are looting. Not only are they incompetent, they are looting the country. So we have created a kleptocracy and a kakistocracy. Where is the sense of stewardship? If I'm using such strong words, somebody might get angry and take umbrage also. My foot, I don't care. I have this much freedom. What kind of a joker are you? 80% of our legislatures are full of buffoons and criminals. So the word steward, you see, has several meanings. And steward is a waiter in a restaurant. One employed to supervise the provision and distribution of food and drink in any restaurant. It can also loosely mean a steward can be in a large household or estate. A manager who supervises servants, collection of rents and keeping of accounts. Shop steward, Shop stewards are also there. A steward is basically like a manager who actively directs all the affairs. So, act as a steward for, that means to manage. A shop steward is a union member elected as the union representative of a shop or department in dealings with the management. So that's a shop steward. Efficient stewardship of natural resources, careful and responsible management of something entrusted to one's care. Instead of that, these scoundrels are boasting as if they are giving something out of their personal pocket. It is so disgusting. I just cannot tolerate this shit anymore. So fish rots from the head down. Problems or corruption in any nation, organization, group, company or system, they always start with the leadership and management. If you have the right leader, that's why the quote goes, Chanakya said that if an army of goats is led by a lion, they will always be better, superior than an army of lions led by a goat. So that is Chanakya's great quote. So what is happening here is fish is rotting from the head down. When you have the wrong person, that's why in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Yadyadacharati sreshtaha tattadevetaro janaha sayat pramanam kurute lokastad anuvartate. Krishna has emphasized why leadership is so important. Because a leader will set the example. Everyone will follow. If he is a good leader, he will set the right example and people will emulate. Thanks to Modi ji and Yogi ji, we have some wonderful leaders today in our society who you can worship. They are our exemplars. We can emulate them. They are our role models. They are truly dedicated, selfless karma yogis. So if these people continue, and other people when they come up later, they should walk in the footsteps of these great role models. Then this nation will become Ramaraja and we will become Vishwa Guru. We will be able to guide the whole world spiritually, because spirituality exists only in Hinduism. But now slowly anyway things are improving. Let us not be cynical. So fish rots from the head down refers to failing organizations, failing societies, failing nations. Pakistan is a basket case. Please make a note. BASKET, basket case. Basket case means actually a term that originated in the Second World War. Unfortunately, some soldiers, their limbs have to be amputated, and both the hands and both the legs, for bombing, gangrene and all those things. So then that person cannot move. He has to be put in a basket and physically carried by somebody. So that's a basket case. Now basket case implied meaning is any society or organization. Now Pakistan is a basket case. It has so much debt to pay back, it will never be able to pay back. So it is like an international beggar. It lives on the money doled out by America and China, and then that money is invested in terrorism to create problems for India. So this beggary continues. So they are finished. It's a basket case. A basket case is a nation that is a completely failed nation. So referring to failed organizations, nations, and how the blame should be on their head, which is their leadership. If you get the right kind of leader, then problems can solve. Even in a cricket team, you see, when a team begins to fail repeatedly, you knock off the leader. You knock off the leader and the herd will take care of itself. So that is a simple strategy to deal with any rebellion also. So in short, the proverb fish rots from the head down means that if there is a problem in an organization or a system, it usually starts at the top with the leadership or those in charge. In simpler terms, when things go wrong, it is often because the people at the top are not doing their job properly. Just like how a fish starts to rot at its head before the rest of its body, problems in an organization can be traced back to its leaders. So the phrase does not talk about the biology of the fish and should not be used with a literal meaning. This is because an actual fish starts to rot from its guts and not its head, according to piscine biology. Piscine. Piscine, not piscine. Piscine, the C is silent, is the adjective for fish. Okay. So we have learnt an interesting idiom. Please use it somewhere. Please start using it. Because there are so many wonderful examples. So many organizations, nations, societies, groups, political parties. The fish rots from the head down. You can simply drop this bomb in a debate and let people, if they don't know, they'll have to wonder. Some examples are laid out. The company was bound to be closed sooner or later, considering the kind of managers that they had hired. A fish rots from the head down, after all. A leader has to be of strong will and good character, otherwise, as it is said, the fish rots from the head down. The whole organization would then have to suffer because of it. Look at our, after we got independence in 1947, some jokers, we called them Mahatma. This man conducted all kinds of sex experiments in order to gain sex control, brahmacharya. Today, if that man tries it, he will be behind bars, non-bailable offense, POXO. Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act, that he conducted. We called him Mahatma also. I didn't name him anyway. You know who I'm talking about. So this man, I don't know his quotes and quotations, what kind of a buffoon, this man was. And the other fellow lost the election and became the PM. I mean, today such people would be behind bars immediately. You're taking the whole country for a bloody joyride. And you're destroying entire nations, societies, people, livelihoods. My God. So this is how we suffered till Modi ji came. Till Modi ji came, the fish was rotting, putrefying. So the whole country suffered because the fish was rotting from the head down. And corruption, even now we are finding it very difficult to accept in the Indian army, you see. Indian army generals, they live in simple houses, they live in rented houses, or they buy some small house with whatever, money they save. But they are willing to, sacrifice their lives. That is why we are still safe. Maybe there is a little corruption somewhere in the fringes, but this is the army, and the same army is being abused by these politicians and opposition leaders. What should we do with these people? The whole party is rotting from the head down, and they are trying to cause a rot in the whole society. Another example, his maidservant doesn't do anything as asked for, but the fish rots from the head down. Look at how disorganized his own life is. Right? If you are disorganized, your organization will also suffer. So that is how the fish rots from the head down. Corruption, decay, incompetence, inefficiency often starts with bad leadership. A fish starts smelling from the head. There is a Turkish saying, Balik bastan kokar. Balik bastan kokar. Hey, it sounds good. Balik bastan kokar. The fish starts smelling from the head. Rotting starts from the top. So if you sense any rot there, kick that leader out. Jai Shri Ram.